Have any book lovers on your holiday list this year? If so, I have the cutest suite of products to share with you today. So, to see this card and one bonus come together, stick around. That video is coming up next. So here's a look at the products I'm going to be creating with today. And this is the Tree of Tales. So the whole design, let me show you the back here, is books. And I think that is super cute. And then there are coordinating stamps and dies with book themes. And one of the things that intrigued me about this was looking at these, and I thought, I don't know what those are for. However, now I do. The stencil set, which also shows what this looks like, has little areas that are going to stencil on so that when it comes time to die cut it, it's going to be so much easier to line it up and cut it out. So I'm actually thinking of, I might use the press plates today or the stamps. That will have to be seen, but let's get started with ink blending. And I'm basically following this color palette on the back here because that's how I roll. All right, let's get started with that. I'm going to use my stamp wheel today because it's just easier to just pop things into the corner for quick lineups. Even though you can use those for stenciling as well, I'm going to rely on them for die cutting. So I'm taking the same size cardstock right here, and then I will just put stencil number 1. Let me make sure that is stencil 1. Yep. Right here in the corner, hold it in place, and then I'll just add low-tack tape here and here, and that will hold this for stenciling. I'm going to follow, like I said, what was on the packaging. And so when I look at this first little layer, we're going to start with my blue color. So that is the sky blue. I'm just going to sandwich that right there. And I want to show you what I purchased for my Pink Fresh brushes. There's a little shop on Etsy. I think it's called Annie's Little Boxes. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. And you can get them in different colors. You can also get them so they rotate. There's a little carousel. I just got the plain white one, but they are perfect to hold. Is it 9 brushes? I really like this because I wasn't sure how I was going to store these big fluffy brushes. So we're going to add the colors one at a time. So I think I'm just going to speed this up and you'll see how the design comes together. Also in between, I will clean my stencils when I am done with a layer with a little spritz of rubbing alcohol and a cloth. So starting out here with the sky blue, I wanted to use the big fluffy brushes, but you could use any size brush. As you'll see, I'm going to switch to a smaller brush as some of the details get a little smaller. But I'm just building up the sky blue to start, blending that in, and then I will clean each stencil in between with the alcohol. It's just easy to clean as you go. That's me. I don't know if that's just because I'm a bit of a neatnik. That said, I spritz, I wipe, it's clean and dry. Then I move on to the second stencil. I love using something like a stamp wheel or a MISTI to take advantage of that same corner that you can just press into. You don't have to think about, are my stencils lined up? Because I'm really focusing on using those little triangles when it comes time for the die cutting. So here, bringing in the pink, and I'm literally following what the colors are on the back of the packaging. And I cannot stress, if you get a new set, do it. Someone's already put some thought into a color scheme that is going to work. And if it's the first time you're using the product, why not do it? I love how these colors came together. And it actually turns out that it's a really lovely split complementary color scheme, which I will show you at the end. But this just allowed me to focus on playing with the product first, picking the colors that match the packaging, and then going for it. So here when I got to the fruit punch, I probably could have switched to a smaller brush head at this point because these little details were starting to get a little smaller. So when I come in with the next color, I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. But again, it's just easy. And see how those triangles just get darker and darker? And they're perfectly lined up, right? There's no haze on the edges. They are just there to guide your die placement. So I don't know if this is going to be a new thing, or maybe Pink Fresh has been doing this for a while, but I love this idea for cutting out something that you spend your time stenciling. And here we're coming in with the final color, and this is a green. Now I probably could have gone one shade darker than Key Lime, but I thought this would work. So I'm going pretty heavy-handed on this, really trying to get a solid blend through the stencil. And that's what I often do if I'm doing a tone on tone. But this ends up looking so good. And there you go. You have this beautiful tree. And I love how this turned out. So now that this is done, this is where we're going to add all the details. And this is where these triangles come into play. See how nicely, and I'm going to get my head up there just a little. You just want to make sure you're filling them all in. I'm going to just tape everything into place so it doesn't shift. And I'm using my Intracut today. I like sometimes how crisp the cuts are on this, but can you see they're all lined up in there beautifully? Yep. And now I will run it through. I have this set to be die cut, and then I have it all the way on the tightness, just because I like it to be nice and tight. And now I will run this through. Let's try the correct plate. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's the cutting surface. And I'm actually going to go blade up, so we'll just run this through. Come on now. I know it's tight, but I want that to be a little tight. Oh, I'm way too tight on this. Well, it doesn't look like it shifted. Now, let's take you off. Oh, that is beautiful. Oh, I love it. So now, where's my pokey tool? You've got all these little pieces that you poke out, just a few, not too many, to make your tree. And look at how nicely that cut out. And it adds all the details. And the reason why I wanted to do it before everything dries is there's some areas where it's pressing in quite a bit. Now I will let this all dry back because it will lighten up a bit, and we're going to work on the greeting. Next, I'm going to do some hot foiling, and I have a piece of cardstock here. This is actually Poppy from Spellbinders that I thought would be a really pretty match. And I'm going to attempt to hot foil two of the longer greetings. You can use this with press plates or the hot foil. I don't know why I forgot that I'm going to use my Spellbinders too. I think you can use this with the Gina K. I just don't know the settings. So I am going to cut this really quick, get a piece of foil. This is matte gold. And I think I'll just, I don't know how, I don't need a ton of it, but I will come here, pop that down, you know, and maybe I'll just grab a craft knife here. Let's just cut that. This just allows you to get in the groove, do a little cut. Yeah, I never get it all the way through. Oh, God. There's a thing that comes with this and I never use it. Get in there. Come on now. There we go. There we go. So you want your, is it pretty side? The foil pretty side like that? I never know. Oh gosh, here's where I start to, because that's pressing in. Oh, I never know. There we go. Pretty side to pretty side. That's how it goes, because this is going to press right into the paper. Now, I don't need all of this. Every time I hot foil, I feel like I've never done it before. And then every time it works, I think to myself, why don't you do this more often? Because it really is pretty. And I do love the look. And I just thought this would be a cool look for this book tree that has so much pressed in detail. Okay, so there's that. And then as soon as this is warm enough, we'll run it through. So now I've got these, oh, I hope I'm doing this right, taped into place. Drop it down. And I don't think it matters which one goes on which, but both of these are here. And I will hit the timer. All right, it's solid, which means it's heated enough. Sometimes I'll wait a second, but I just kind of want to pull it out slowly, get it here right on the platform, and just gently run it through. One time only, goes through really easily. I just want to give all that foil time to transfer as it's hot and pressed in. You can barely feel it going through. All right, there we go. I'm always probably more gentle than I need to be. Pull that out on the sides. It's not hot on the sides technically. And I will pop this right back in. And let's see if it foiled. I'll bring in my little mat here. Take you off and take, oh my gosh, look at the condensation. I wonder if that's because it's, wait, oh, okay. Like, what is happening? Did it work? Did it not work? I don't know. I'm going to release these hounds here. Okay, a little bit up. I guess I'll just pull it all up at once. Oh, it works like a charm. Look at how good. Wait, you can't really see. Okay, let's get. That looks so good. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I did that. All right, I'm going to die cut both of these out and figure out which one will be best for this card. Because I'm supremely excessive, I'm just going to run this through my electronic die cut machine because of the magnetic mat, and we'll see how they look. I have a paltry wardrobe, but I have multiple die cut machines, and that, my friends, is the story of a crafter's life. Oh, that looks great. Yeah. And this one also looks great, and I think I will cut a shadow layer for each. Look at that. And the thing that's so cool about this is if you look at it closely enough, it's hard to pick up here, but you can see that indent, like, because it's pressed into the paper. It's kind of subtle, but it really does look good. I like the look of this pale blue cardstock. I think this is Seaside from Spellbinders, and I will score this at 5.5. But maybe I'll add, see, this is what I don't know. Do I want some white spatter on my card for a winter feel? Or do I want gold to match? I mean, that would be so pretty just by itself. I think I'm going to add a little spatter. Let me get set up to do that. I thought I would use the Positively Perfect White Splatter Medium. And this is a medium that I do like to shake up. And in fact, not only that, let's see, is this my one that's already open? Why, yes, it is. All right, it's got a bubble. Let's get the bubble out. I'm going to swirl in the bottom and just really make sure that all the pigment in here, which is just white mucky mucky muck, is mixed in well before I dip and spatter. Now I need to wipe this off. And here, I'm just going to pick up some of the spatter like that. Tap a little here first. Is that a hair? And then, oh, tap some onto my card. I have hair on my card and I'm not sure why. Let me come in here a bit, a little dip, tap. Big ones, little ones, it's all going to be fine because it's just a background. Just for some fun. Snow, and I will blob those off. I'm still getting used to this medium. In fact, I'll show you what I mean. I will blob those and blob those and blob that. There we go. Because I do want it to be smaller. There we go. And now, because I've planned ahead, I'm going to pull this out for a second. So it's got the white on it. And I'm going to bring in another note card. This is, and I always push it off to the side in my box so that I can pick up my little medium and then tap some on. I think it shows up on the red a little better. This is the same poppy. I have an extra piece that I'm going to make 2 cards today. Now this one, I don't know if I want gold, but the reason I wanted to do both at once, because there's a little gold, here's what we're going to do. close this up, spritz this to clean it a little, okay? We'll just wipe that off, like that. And then I'll bring in a little gold that I can spatter, and that is the Distress Spritz Fossilized Amber. And this just is going to add a little more something something. Just put it out here like this. I don't like to spray it directly because I don't have enough control, but if you do it like this, then you can add little bits of gold spatter. So there'll be a little shine mixed in. I don't know if I'm going to do it on this guy here because I kind of just like the white. I just wanted to see what it looked like on the red. All right, I will let these dry and then we can assemble the cards. I popped both on with foam tape and then I positioned each greeting right where I felt like it was a little outside of the tree, but in an appropriate place. Now, the spatter shows up really well on here, plus it's hard to pick up. Well, you can kind of pick up. There's some gold in there too, and I kind of wanted to see, and let me get this a little piece of cardstock here. I kind of wanted to see if I could brighten some of these up a little and just, I sort of got, I think my mix was a little liquid, so I'm just going to pop a few on here where you just color in some to kind of mix it up a little and have different layers. You can always add with a gel pen. I know for me it's hard to go random, but let me get a few more added. I think to finish these off, I will put 3 pearls. Just keep it really simple, just for a little extra something something. And these are also from Pink Fresh. These are their gold pearls. I'll just put a little dab of glue, go in there, and boop, one up here, boop, and one that splits the line right here. Oh, come here now, and boop, 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 and the last one is boop. So we have 2 samples here because I had done one before I started filming. Let's do a quick design review of, we'll just pick one because they're both essentially the same. I'll use this one because it's nice and light and bright and there's a lot of contrast between the blue background and the piece itself. This is my grid overlay. I printed this onto acetate. I have a free download in the description. It's the rule of thirds overlay. You can cut it out and glue a piece of cardstock onto the top and bottom to keep it nice and flat. I do this just to demonstrate the rule of thirds in design. It's really more of a photography thing, but it really makes sense when you're laying out a design, or for me, it's often after the fact. So here, this is very center weighted. You cut it right down the middle and it is basically symmetrical from side to side in terms of shape. Not from top to bottom, but that's okay. This is a very center weighted design. And I have my greeting dropped right down here to these overlapping little quadrants. And it's kind of happenstance here based on where I wanted it to appear on the tree. But anywhere in this area obviously is going to look great for a greeting. Now, of course, we have all of our lovely colors that work together. I wanted to get my color wheel. Where are you here? Because one of the things that I love, let me see if I can find, yeah, true reds. So basically we have red and green on here, which are, you know, they're, what's the word I'm looking for? Complementary colors, right? But if I come over here and I don't know what's going to happen when I do this. If I turn this here and we have our red, we actually have more of what is called a split complement, because these 2 colors, let's just say that's our blues and that's our greens, because our greens really do feel less Kelly and more sort of in this family. This is called a split complementary, and that is where you take a color, instead of going across the wheel directly, you go to side and you get whatever's on the other side. This is a really lovely contrast in this type of color palette. And so you could do that with any, red is sort of my anchor color, and then the other two are the greens and the blues. Now, I didn't come up with this palette myself. I just looked at the back of the packaging. I highly recommend that when you're starting out with something new, just so that you can make it once and see what you think, and then you can experiment with different colors. And of course, we have our blue note card, which is echoing back to the blue and linking to that little bit of sky blue here. We have just a little bit of gold repetition, and then of course we have our little foil stamped greeting. Now you can do this with embossing too. I just love the look of the foil stamped, impressed gold shine in there. It's just a really cool look. And of course, this whole piece was done on the white, and then I've got my little white snow in the background as well. So this is basically the same, except we have the nice big red background. I don't know which one do you like better? I kind of like the contrast of this better, but I do like how this sort of feels like one piece, as the greeting itself kind of links directly to the background. You can find links to all of the products I used in today's video in the YouTube description box. I'll have a link to a blog post as well, so be sure to check that out for photos and more information about these cards. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you, so please hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time I post. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Here's another video featuring some holiday card projects that you might be interested in checking out, and I will see you in that video. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.